Simon YouTube, and welcome back to another team builder for our CBA series. This week we are taking on the Gogoats, coached by my good friend Shunnam. This is going to be a very intense game, especially for the simple fact of I didn't have a whole lot of time to prep this team as much as I was on holidays. I'll admit I didn't have a whole lot of time to actually build the team. I was trying to get ahead with other stuff, so I didn't put a lot of quality into this team, but hopefully it'll do. His team, though, for this week, we're going to be playing off against Celebi, Mega Gyarados, Lucario, it's just regular Aggron, Azumarill, Alomomola, Audino, Excadrill, Lapras, Flygon, Golbat, and Nidoking. So we needed a lot of decent coverage here. Thankfully, a lot of it is all blocked by Suicune. So we'll go over our sets, what we're bringing. I am bringing Judy, our good old Lopunny, a buddy of mine. Last week, for one, if you guys haven't watched, I'm going to say spoiler warning right now. If you have not watched my battle between myself and the Avalugs, make sure to do so before this, because I'm about to spoil the outcome of that match. You're back? Okay. Pretty much what happened was, I'll admit, I did not play the best on that one. Me specifically forgetting the fact that I had an Assault Vest and Taunt on my Tornadoes probably did not help. But he was telling me that if I had done my research, the Aroma Veil on the Aromatisse would have stopped the Taunt anyway. So it was null and not important anyway. So maybe next time I'll take care of my research and actually build properly. Looking at this one, though, we have Judy the Lopunny, running the Lopunite, obviously. Gets the Scrappy ability after Mega Evolving. We have Fake Out, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Power Up Punch. I want to be able to set up with this mod. And Drain Punch is there to give it longevity. Thunder Punch is for all those water types. If you look really closely, he's got the Gyarados, he's got the Azumarill, which is a threat to Lopunny. So if I can get a Drain Punch off first, a Power Punch first, that'll be great, because Stab Aqua Jet will not knock me out first, but I'll be able to knock it out first with a Thunder Punch, which would be nice. It'll also hit the Lapras, hit the Golbat, which is a big threat, Alomomola. It'll hit a lot of big threats. I don't have to worry too much about the Mega Gyarados. If it stays in as a regular form, then yes, I can hit it with Thunder. But the regular good old Drain Punch Stab will knock that out beforehand, so I'm not worried about it too much. Again, running that whole lightning idea, we have remove our Jolteon here. It's going to be Choice Scarf. I want to have the fastest thing on the field at all times. And I do have to watch out for the Excadrill and the Nidoking. I cannot use Volt Switch until they are gone, or I have to make a huge prediction expecting them not to come in. With that, though, I have the Hidden Power Ice for both of them, which is a great coverage move. It gives me the ability to take out most of the threats that might be able to block Ramu. Again, that would be not so much the Golbat. The Golbat kind of goes down. Even with an Eviolite, it's not the best. I actually also have to worry about the Flygon. I do apologize. But again, Hidden Power Ice will take care of Flygon. It'll take care of Nidoking. It'll take care of Excadrill. Any of the checks, it'll take care of. I just have to try and windle them down first, because I do not believe Jolteon OHKOs any of them. So I gotta be careful on that. But Suicune is going to be our leading mon here, running the Chesto Berry, Calm Mind, Rest, Ice Beam, and Scald. I wanted to run a Sleep Talking set, but unfortunately I didn't think I'd be bulky enough for my opponent's team unless I ran Calm Mind, and I needed the 2 attacks, because Ice Beam is very crucial. As you guys can see, Ice is very dominant in my opponent's team. And then I also have Scald for coverage on some of the other mons. Nothing more really to say. If I could get Water Absorb, this would have been the mon of choice for sure. But unfortunately, Water Absorb is locked. It is not available for Suicune as of yet, so I couldn't use it. Next up, though, is Loxodon, who's here to pretty much do our Stealth Rock. He's got Ice Shard for the Ice Mons. He's got Earthquake for a few of them. He's got Knockoff to give ourselves a little bit of leeway on some of their items. It will take care of the Lucario. It could do damage to the Lapras. Again, it'll do stuff to the Exadrill and the Nidoking, depending on situations, of course. But he's a good mon to have for us. We have Gourgeist, the good old grass type pumpkin. He's put in a ton of work over the last little bit, and we're going to be running a Leftovers Frisk variant again, but we're going to be running a very bulky set here for the Synthesis, the Leech Seed, and the Willow. We're taking on defensive or physical mons here, and being able to burn and then set up a Leech Seed. We're going to get a lot of residual damage off, hopefully through that, and if I can get the Stealth Rocks up early through Dawn Fan, that'll be even better. Lastly, we are running an Assault Vest Iago, but please keep in mind that I am not running a non-attacking move. We've got Air Slash, Grass Knot, Heat Wave, and Focus Blast. I do not want to use that Focus Blast, but if it does come down to it, I can still go for it. But Iago will be our... Ooh. I just noticed a big mistake. I misplayed on the Grass Knot. I don't need the Grass Knot with all the coverage we have for those particular mons. I was actually wanting to run U-turn. And I just forgot to put it in. Or it didn't save it. It happens sometimes. But Iago is supposed to have U-turn instead of the Grass Knot. So that is our team. Again, it's a little bit straightforward, not a whole lot of creativity behind it. My opponent does run a lot of creative things like Endeavor Aggron, so I do have to be careful for things like that. He is going to bring a fantastic team. So this is going to be a match that you guys are going to want to watch. This guy, I'm not even going to lie to you guys, this guy went 10-1 last season with me. We both went 10-1, and my only defeat last season was to this guy. And then, of course, we had to play in quarterfinals, and I got lucky, and I did beat him. So this is going to be his rematch for it, though. He desperately wants to take me down, and this is going to be his way of doing so. And I'm hoping he can get some good... I'm always open for great plays. If I lose, I lose. I'm not going to complain about it or do anything like that. But I'm hoping for a great game. No hacks, nothing like that. I just want to come right down to the skill. Does he outplay me? Does he get better than me on some stuff? You never know. But that's all going to be tomorrow's match. So if you guys are hyped and ready for it, make sure to hit the like button here because it lets me know that you guys are still interested in this content. And tomorrow, I'll showcase the real battle to you guys. But until then, time out.